So John Harris's book, Memoirs of the Antichrist, it's an interesting read. It is a story that he made up. It is fictional. It's not very flattering, but it's not the truth. But it is the truth. John Harris says he's telling the truth, and he's written it in a confusing way, but in a way that exposes 12 Egyptian families trying to rule the world 2,000 years ago in a system. And this system, he suggests, is still being operated today to use fear, torture, threat and blackmail and imprisonment to control the mass populations. Now, Jesus was exposing the slave master system or master slave system 2,000 years ago. Okay, approximately. I'll record this in 2024. Jesus was already on this, but John Harris is taking this subject and giving you a different narrative, not the same narrative as the Bible. It starts with a story about Egypt. The real God is against Egypt and against Egyptian slavery. But Akhenaten was trying to bring in systems to deceive people so that they could treat them badly. Okay, so that they could take control of the land and the water and things like this. And John Harris suggests that the modern day monarchies are the same as these pharaonic systems to some extent. And fear, torture, threat, coercion, i.e. war, and imprisonment are still on the menu. Okay, so don't be deceived by these governments, organisations, because they are deceptive. Jesus taught peace, and he wanted to warn people not to be deceived by these governments, by these systems. Okay, make your choices. Do not join militaries. Okay, because what you're actually doing is certain systems have been normalized to appear normal, such as prisons, but they're not normal. They're anything but normal. In fact, they could make you want to commit suicide if you go into some prisons. They also permit gangs operating in some prisons. These people who have organised this society may not be thinking right. They might be paranoid. They think everybody else is thinking what they're thinking. So, which may be off. Watch Michael Moore's film Fahrenheit 9/11 and avoid war. Okay, God and Jesus don't want you to all to fight and have war. But there's religious systems set up. And in the past, John Harris has put a fictional tale out, which is not very flattering to Jesus. But Jesus, it suggests Jesus threatens, blackmails, but this isn't the case, okay? In reality, he doesn't need to threaten or coerce or blackmail or use a knife. He doesn't. He's a man of peace. So John Harris has clearly said it's a fictional tale, but he's telling the truth. And what he's doing is trying to warn people of this system. So he's written about this system. Is it worth buying? If you've got the spare cash and you're interested in God being against this Egyptian system of slavery, then go and buy it if you want to. If you don't. John Harris, I don't agree with everything he's written, but it's a very interesting read, and he talks about a very gruesome subject about John the Baptist, because remember, John the Baptist had his head cut off years ago, but there is a shocking piece of information about that in there if you've never considered it. But as he said, is it truth or fiction? John Harris says it's all true, and he's warning you of these systems. Well, Jesus Christ, when he was alive, he warned everybody to be peaceful and not to be deceived and to help one another. So don't permit members of your family to go into militaries. Warn them. As Bob Marley saying, never let the governments educate your children. Okay, so my view on John Harris's book. He's right in everything he said in his prologue. It does come across as the ramblings of a madman, but he is telling the truth. It's a fictional story, so don't believe everything you read, but be aware of this Egyptian system, and it's written about in this.